The PaK-36 is a 3.7 cm caliber German anti-tank gun used during the Second World War. It was the main anti-tank weapon of Wehrmacht Panzerjäger units until 1942. Developed by Rheinmetall in 1933, it was first issued to the German Army in 1936, with 9,120 being available by the beginning of the war in September 1939 and a further 5,339 produced during the war. As the predominant anti-tank gun design in the world during the late 1930s, demand was high for the PaK-36, with another 6,000 examples produced for export, and the design being copied by the Soviet Union as the 45mm anti-tank gun M1932, and by other nations such as Japan. It first saw service during the Spanish Civil War in 1936, where it performed well against the light tanks of the conflict. It was first used during the Second World War against Poland in 1939, and had little difficulty with any of the Polish tanks. The Battle of France in 1940 revealed its inadequate penetration capability against French and British heavier tanks, particularly the Char B-1 and especially the Matilda II. The invasion of the Soviet Union brought the PaK-36 face-to-face with large numbers of T-34 and KV-1 tanks, which were invulnerable to its fire. However, 91% of the Soviet tank forces in 1941 consisted of lighter types that lacked sufficient armor to defeat the gun, and the PaK-36 knocked out thousands of such tanks. The PaK-36 was replaced from late 1940 onward by the 5cm PaK-38 anti-tank gun, and from November 1941 by the 7.5cm PaK-40. This process was accelerated by the engagements with the modern Soviet tanks, and PaK-36 production ceased entirely in early 1942. The introduction in 1943 of the steel granite 41-shaped charge gave it the ability to punch through the armor of any Allied tank, but the ammunition's short range made the PaK-36 crews vulnerable to enemy fire, and could not solve the gun's basic obsolescence. German paratroopers employed the gun due to its low weight and consequent high maneuverability. The PaK-36 was also used by Axis-Allied, second-line, garrison and training units until the end of the war. Design of a horse-drawn 3.7cm anti-tank gun by Rheinmetall commenced in 1924, and the first guns were issued in 1928. By the early 1930s, it was apparent that horse-drawn artillery was obsolescent, and the gun was modified for motorized transport by substituting magnesium alloy wheels and pneumatic tires for the original spoked wooden wheels, allowing it to be towed at highway speeds. Redesignated the 3.7cm PaK-35-36, it began to replace the 3.7cm PaK-L-45 in 1934, and first appeared in combat in 1936 during the Spanish Civil War. It formed the basis for many other nations' anti-tank guns during the first years of World War II. The KWK-36L45 was the same gun, but used as the main armament on several tanks, most notably the early models of the Panzer III. The Soviets copied the PaK-36 carriage design for their 45mm M1937 AT gun.